I'm going to start off with a question. How many of you think it's a fun time to be in insurance? By hands. Huh? Who would have ever thought that fun and insurance would go together? So most of you are in the technology space, maybe? Right? A little story about what's going on in Houston. I came into the insurance world about 30 years ago. I started in what was known as the insurance capital of the world at that time, Hartford, Connecticut. And I started for the Travelers Insurance Company. Roughly in 1986, I believe, Hurricane Gloria hit the Northeast. And I was affected by that. I lived in a community, rural community, trees knocked down. I was on a dead-end street, power lines down. I was out of power for 8 days. But I thought about the claims experience back then versus the claims experience today and what's going on in Houston. And why did I think about that? Because back then, it was weeks to months before all the claims were fulfilled. Today, I was just talking to one of my friends over at one of the large global service providers, and they were flying about 15 drones over Houston for a large insurance carrier. And that data was immediately being sent to their command center. So think about, I think Craig brought up the halo effect. Think about that halo effect and the experience of today. You know, think about the anxiety these people are going through and the fact that, gee whiz, one of their carriers may be calling them up and saying, hey, we just flew a drone over your GPS location of your home. We see it's wiped out. You know, we have a check coming. That's amazing. And that's exciting. And that's why I say, gee whiz, even though it's a really horrible experience, from the standpoint of how we've evolved, it certainly is a fun time to be in insurance. We are a research and consulting group out of Boston. We are specifically focused on insurance technology in North America. I won't go into the details there. And our overview of claims. So industry trends. Obviously, claims is a key touch point for consumers. Emerging tech is really going to change the landscape, is already changing the landscape now. And I know Pat and others have hit on kind of where it may be heading in the future. I see dramatic changes in the future. In the next 5 to 10 years, I think the world is really going to be looking much different from a claims perspective. Insurers deploying, you know, they're looking for the straight-through processing. They're looking for stuff that, you know, nobody touches anymore. You know, you look at the Lemonade example. Everybody's heard about it already. Yeah, it's a pretty small example and a very unique case. That's not very detailed from a claims perspective, but still, it's a way that insurers can go. The mobile first notice of loss is another area that's crazy to think about. Again, telematics playing a big role in your car if it's in an accident, sending data immediately to your provider, and that provider being able to, by GPS location and everything else, know exactly where you are, what happened, when it happened, all that kind of stuff.